fashion bitch. Bring your cables or your lace. Come join us for Alpaca Face.
Okay. Hi. This is where we say, hello, friends.
It is.
Let's check our hair, make sure everything's good. No, just kidding. I hate when they do that on the other show.
Yes.
So, hi, everybody. Lauren and I are wearing matching dresses today.
We are. We're wearing our salmon tunics.
And that's SAMMEN because I always freak out because it sounds like salmon, but it's salmon. So it's got pockets.
It does.
Pockets. And we match because Lauren made them both. Because
Yes. And mine is a little bit longer, but you can't see it because I'm very short.
Right. I know, that's the one thing about this setup. Today we're in a different location,
We are.
which I don't hate.
Yeah, it's kind of cute in here.
Yeah, so during COVID, my husband and kids and dog drove me crazy, and I couldn't do a Zoom call to save my life. So we took over a walk-in closet. So here we are.
Yes.
And it's purple, which is my favorite after black.
It's purple and floral, which is
Yeah,
the perfect
wallpaper
combination.
is super fun. There is someone at my front door. I wonder who that is.
Oh no.
So yeah, hi.
Hi.
I'm very unorganized today.
That's
So
allowed.
I this weekend went to Chicago and I did a rug tufting class, which was super fun. And I made a fire breathing sheep.
It's the best.
And yeah, so I can't wait to get that. They're gonna mail it to me.
Dragon sheep.
And yeah, this is my fire breathing sheep rug that I made. And then we went to that was the other thing I was gonna talk about. We took a class at Miss Pearl. They've been open for just over a year on the south side of Chicago. She is lovely, Miss Kamaka. It's Kamaka. I always say her name wrong. I'm sorry, Kamaka. Every time. So they do once a month make and take classes with, kind of just a 2-hour, easy enough to at least get a good grasp on it, even if you don't finish the whole project. So this week I did a granny square little purse. The other girls didn't want to start crocheting, so they did mitered square little purses. And so that was really fun. And it's like $20, so they give you the yarn. They just get like clearance yarn. And
Nice. I didn't know they supplied the kits for you. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
so they were saying upcoming, they're going to be doing knitted plants and flowers.
Fun.
Oh, yes.
Of
but-
course, right before the state fair deadline.
Right. Well, and I can't go do it.
Oh
So-
no.
Yeah, because it's the weekend of Alpaca Fest.
Oh yes.
So I will be going to Alpaca Fest instead of back to Chicago for that.
Fair enough.
And then we also went to Nina, Chicago, which is downtown, and probably one of our favorites. I hadn't been there before. It's really cute. So many things. Their yarn is Wicker Park yarn, movers and makers. So I of course bought black because that's what I buy.
That
and
is the cutest logo.
it is really
It's
like
a little if you look, you probably can't see, but it's like a little graph. It's like a little knitting chart
yeah
in the ampersand. So it's got
so
little
it's
graph
really
lines
cute.
in it.
And they said they didn't have enough of it for the project I wanted to do, so I thought I'd bring it home and swatch. But this is their house yarn, and so they said that if I knew what I wanted, I could just call them and order it. The colors were amazing. I didn't buy color, I bought black. But the colors were really great, and they had a lot of options, so that is a good thing to go look for if you're down in Chicago. And yeah, Nina Chicago, Movers and Makers.
Nice.
Yep, Movers and Makers is the yarn.
I did not go to Chicago this weekend, but I did order from Chicago this weekend.
Yes.
So,
and where did you order?
I hit a snag in a sweater that I've been making because I read the pattern I looked over the yardage requirements and said, okay, I will get the yards for that yardage requirement, and I deeply underestimated how much yarn I would need in the contrast color. So I'll have plenty for the main color, and did not have enough for the contrast color, which I actually wound up buying first on our Chicago yarn crawl this last summer. And of course, what I bought for the contrast color was Migration's Journey DK, which is an independent dyer and is carried at String Theory Yarn in Chicago. And I love that because I love to support small businesses and I love to support independent dyers. And I bought the one skein that I thought I would need, and turns out I needed more than one skein. So I frantically go and check String Theory's website thinking that I need this specific color. I thought it was Buttermint, which is kind of a yellowish, like a lightish yellowish color. And I was like, oh no, they're out of everything except for this one colorway called John Quill. So I grabbed my ball band to triple check that I had the right colorway, and turns out I needed John Quill. So
That's awesome.
it was the one colorway they had left in stock, and I placed my order through String Theory, and they've got a special deal going on, at least for a little while. I didn't check the dates, but if you order $100 or more worth of yarn, then it's 10-cent shipping. So yay for that. I did not order $100 worth of yarn. But,
yeah, that's awesome.
lots of people do when they order yarn, so I just happened to need the one skein and was deeply grateful that they had it in stock.
I went to Wool & Co. 2 weeks ago to order yarn for my summer dress, and so that I got the notice on Friday that it was shipping, and I was there on Sunday, so I should have just picked it up.
Oh, that would have been smart.
But I also bought another quantity of yarn while I was there, and they also did not have enough of that one in stock.
Oh
Yeah, apparently I like popular colors, and both of them are actually colors this
no,
time.
not black.
So that one they're also going to ship to me, and then I will have to not leave my house and just knit for the rest of forever.
I mean, I think that can be said for all of us all the time.
Yeah.
In perpetuity.
Yeah. Wool & Co. does not charge shipping. You can get free shipping.
That's nice.
As the first order that I made at Wool & Co., which was the week in Lauren and I met, I found out that they had this yarn that I am currently knitting with.
Hedgehog Fiber
Tweedy
Noir.
Tweedy Noir. And my friend was like, oh, because I was telling a friend that I couldn't find it anywhere. And she's like, oh, did you know that you can go on Wool & Co. and it tells you on their website how many of each skein they have, or, of each color, how many skeins. And I was like, shut up. And I went directly back to my room and was like clicking on the ad button. I'm like, it's telling me I can order 30 skeins, guys. 30. I'm going to hit buy. And so I did. I ordered 30 skeins of it because why not? I mean, obviously the why not is cost. But at the time, I was more curious if they would actually send me a box of 30 skeins.
And they did.
And they did. I could have made an Afghan. Instead, I made one V-neck sweater and held it with brightly colored mohair. And I am currently making a cabled cardigan, hopefully long enough. So I'm currently holding it doubled. So it's really like nice and dense, and my cables look awesome, which you're not going to be able to see because it's very dark. But Lauren can see. You want to see? Look.
Oh, they look so nice.
Okay. Love it.
We'll try to get a video later and add it in.
Yeah, so at the end of the video today, I'll work my way back and show you how to do cabling without a cable needle, because that's what I have to do every other row.
It's a really handy skill because cable needles are a giant pain in the ass. So.
And I never remember to bring stuff with me. It's not very much of a secret that I'm kind of a mess. I can fix things, I can knit in the dark, I can figure out what row we're on in a weird pattern. I cannot remember to bring a cable needle with me. So
yeah, it's just not something you need that often. And like, even when
right.
I know I'm working on a cable project, it just doesn't usually go in my notions bag.
Right. So yeah, I had to learn how to do it because often I love doing cables, and often I would just not have a cable needle with me, and I was like, ugh.
And it saves a ton of time too, which is
Mm-hmm.
a fantastic thing, especially when you have all of the projects on the needles and you're trying to get through shit. So
Right. So yeah, so that's some of the fun we're gonna do. And since we're talking about Chicago and string theory, we'll start at the end of summer with an event coming up and let you know about some really awesome fiber
events.
shopping events.
Yes.
Shopping.
Because who
we
doesn't need more yarn?
More shopping. I need more time to knit.
I need both.
So in August 27th and 28th, so way at the end of summer, and then we'll work our way kind of back to the closer to home local stuff that's going to be happening. So August 27th and 28th, Yarn and Folk. It's in Lake Ellen. It is hosted by String Theory, and from what I understand, there's going to be lots of vendors and
Folk music.
yarny fun and folk music. And then closer to home, we have coming up April, May. Are they all May? No.
No, I think Interweave is in May.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, Interweave's May 23rd through 27th. So Interweave Yarn Fest, Milwaukee.
Right. So that one is downtown.
The
At-
Wisconsin Center.
Yep, at the Wisconsin Center. So that one, they just posted, so I think you can still get into classes for the Interweave one if you're interested in any of them. I'm just going to shop.
Yeah, there are lots of great classes, though. I did look through the class list, and there's some really good things. There's knitting and spinning, so it's like
Oh, yeah.
all the fibery things. And their teachers look fantastic, so highly recommend kind of going through their class list and seeing if anything
Right.
interests
And
you.
we'll make notes on the thing because I can never figure out, and I'll try to put them in date order. Because there's also Alpaca Fest in Madison. And that one is
That's in April.
April 29th through 30th. And that'll be fun. I think I'm going on Saturday with Kim.
Okay.
And then there's Yarn Con, which is in Chicago again. That one, the market is on the weekend. I think the classes are full up for Yarn Con.
Yeah, but the marketplace is open April 1st and 2nd at the Plumbers Union Center.
Yep. Plumbers Union Hall, it says. So you can find all that information online, and I'll add links and dates in our notes.
Some of my favorite indie dyers are going to be at YarnCon.
Yay. One of my favorite spinners is going to be there, Julie. Woo, woo. Yeah, so my friend Julie is going to have a booth because she does spinning.
Critical Sheep is going to be there. I love their yarn. They have fantastic colorways, and they're nerdy. They're like D&D themed.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is delightful.
Awesome. That'll be really fun.
Makes my little nerd heart happy.
So with all of that business on hand, we've been talking about spring cleaning. Everybody's sick of snow, sick of everything. Spring breaks are happening. So along with spring cleaning, guys, we need to organize our yarn. We need to destash things that we're obviously not going to get to.
Yep.
Oh, I was going to show my shawl that I finished too. I'm going to throw it because I'm not stripy enough. I also knit the
Satellite shawl.
Andrea Mowry satellite shawl, and it's super stripy.
And that came together in like 2 weeks, which is
No,
crazy.
it was longer than that, but it was a lot of knitting the last 2 weeks. The first week was easy. So anyway, it's kind of sparkly and shiny, and as my friend Kim likes to point out, I don't ever tuck my ends in because I'm a mess, but that's okay. Oh, and acquisitions. Besides that, I also have a present for you because it's not my color. It's too pastel-y.
Oh, that's for me.
Isn't it cute? It's for you.
So cute.
So, as we all know, I'm a big fan of Black
Pearl Magic.
Pearl Magic. Thank you. And so this is her new shape of a bag. It's a
I
square.
have been eyeing those.
Yeah, and it's softer than her other
I was
vinyl.
gonna say it. Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like squishy, and it's got kind of it's very smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a nice size. It's just not really my color. And it is kind of more your color.
It is definitely my color. This pastel-y kind of.
Yep. And then inside is a sticker for you that I bought, which is another subject we have to talk about in a little bit.
I love stickers. One yarn.
One yarn is a charitable donation. I'm going to look it up right now because I forgot to do that.
It's holographic. Thank you.
I probably saved a screenshot of it at some point. No. It's Minnesota.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've
Organization.
heard of this.
Yeah, so
when I
they.
was in one of the shops down there. Which one was it?
Guys. I'm
Well,
sorry,
that's
I'm
one I
such a
went to,
mess.
but I can't remember the name of it. So.
Hi, Dead Space.
We'll edit this out, probably.
Yeah, or not. I was gonna say otherwise. Tell me about stuff that you bought this week.
Oh, what did I buy this week? I didn't buy a lot of knitting stuff this week. I've mostly been working on
Here we
this
go.
little project here, my Principessa dress, which has finally gotten a little bit of length to it, which is very exciting. I am working on hip increases now.
Yay!
So,
Bottom up, I couldn't. Well,
yeah, it's a
just
thing.
saying. I don't love bottom up.
Yes.
Okay, so the yarnery is
That's it, the yarnery.
is in St. Paul, Minnesota, and their one yarn collection. It says the proceeds of our entire one yarn collection benefit Minnesota Transgender Health Coalition, a not-for-profit organization offering free programs and services to the trans and gender non-conforming community, members of which are at risk every day with staggeringly high rates of assault, depression, and suicide. These issues are near and dear to the yarnery. The LGBTQIA plus community is not only important to us, it is us. So that is just like an easy way to donate to them, because each of their little products, a percentage goes, and then you could also look them up and donate directly. But look, they've got rainbow yarn, they've got little stitch markers.
That's so fun.
So I just bought a CJ sticker from them.
That is fantastic, and I love it. I think I just read that their governor is planning on signing in protection for gender affirming care for trans kids, which
I just read that this week too. My cousin is very active in the community in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, and so he tries to keep me up on all of the things that are going on in Minnesota.
Yes.
Which is way ahead of where we are in Milwaukee.
Yeah, and I don't think that's our governor's fault necessarily either. No. That is all the other folks holding things back. But
another note that I wanted to make is vote.
Yes,
everybody.
April
please.
4th, if you're in Wisconsin, please vote. Vote for Janet Protasewicz for Supreme Court.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I'm allowed to get political, but please, for the love of God, vote. And vote for the right people. Please don't set us back any further than we already are. Like, our abortion law is from, 1849? I can't.
Right.
I can't.
No, I've got teenagers that, oh my God, I can't even imagine. It's like I'm really lucky in that right now, if I needed to, I could afford to drive my kids, but if it becomes illegal to take my kids across state lines, oh my God, I can't.
It is disgusting. I can't.
Yeah, and it's not my business what anybody else wants to do, but.
Oh yeah, that's I'm like, if you don't want an abortion, then don't get one, and that's absolutely fine. But that's what pro-choice means. It means that you have the choice to do what you want to do.
Yes.
And please just stay out of my uterus.
Well, and we've been so fortunate. We've raised our kids so far with this idea of body autonomy, speaking up for yourself, saying what you're comfortable with, what's okay for you. And then to all of a sudden have to backtrack that and be like, hi, you don't have choices.
Yeah.
Would not be ideal.
I feel like this is the community that's gonna get that. The Yarny community seems largely progressive. And I really appreciate that about this community. Like, as a member of the LGBTQIA
I think we're presuming
community,
an awful
it's
lot.
well,
I think our
I
community.
have found that a lot of folks in the Yarny community have been very progressive. Like, we're kind of the weirdos who are sitting there in the coffee shop with our needles and like observing and like, you know, I don't know.
I think our community that we've found for knitting.
That's true.
I think there's possibly a larger community that maybe isn't. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I know that like the Ravelry community is largely progressive.
Yes.
Like, so it's not just like our immediate little community either.
Right. But that's one of the things like I really have been loving about our knitting community is, right, like we're in a bunch of different groups. We're going out and meeting new knitting groups, and every time I go, I'm just like, oh, I'm the only one sitting here who doesn't speak a second language.
Yeah.
You know, like I've become like the token white person, which is
and
kind of awesome.
Yeah, and it's weird that doesn't like, because I know a lot of diverse folks too that like are in the Yarny community or my Yarny community, and then I go to like, you know, like a local meeting of like older folks, and it's all like 60-year-old white ladies, and it's like it's weird that doesn't translate into other places.
And some of those women are also amazing, right? Like the life experience that they've got versus.
Absolutely, I'm not discounting that. I'm just like, I wish there was more diversity in like all areas, you know.
We'll get there.
Yeah,
Laura and I are highly like welcome. Come.
Yes.
Bring us some stuff that we don't know yet. Would be great.
Yes, come and join us. Teach me your ways and your skills, and
and let me know who you are as a person. Because like totally here for that, because I think there's been enough of like, hi, I live in North Shore, Milwaukee, and I'm in North Shore, Nancy, and I only want to do, you know, no. Let's get out there and
let's
meet
make things
all
weird.
the people. Yeah, definitely. Let's make things weird.
Let's make things weird.
Weird and snarky. That's me.
Yes.
So anyway, I also have been reading Knitlandia.
I keep hearing that's a great book.
It's really cute. It's like she's talking about like her travels and stuff, and it starts like when she started knitting. I was gonna pick a section and like read to you, but I'm not gonna do that. But yeah, so it's like I haven't gotten to Denver yet. Like she literally just like goes through all the different cities and
I love that.
Tacoma, Washington. I don't know, it's really cute. So
I've been meaning to read it and have not gotten to it yet because I have too many other great books that I've been reading.
Well, and if you're interested in reading it on paper, I've got a copy because I've been doing it on audiobook.
I think I can get it on Overdrive I think it might be on Overdrive.
Oh, I'm sure,
free
probably.
resource that.
But Clara Parks, she's written a bunch of stuff. This is the first.
Strong recommend.
Yeah, the first book I've read by her, and so far I'm really enjoying it. And then I bought Sark. I don't know that I'm going to actually knit anything out of here, but it's
pretty.
Freaking gorgeous. Isn't that amazing?
That is beautiful.
Yeah. So it's like
lots of cables.
Lots of cable. It's all texture, no color work.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, look at this.
These diamondy patterns, I love it.
And the photography is amazing. And I want her skirt.
Oh yes, that tartan, like that's gorgeous.
It's a long black and white plaid, like
love. I kind of dig the red skirt and beret combo too.
Yeah, like she just, and then she's got like nature photos in there.
That's gorgeous.
Nature.
So Sark.
Anyway, Sark by Kate Davies.
So now that we've told you all the things that you should add to your collection, we were going to talk about destashing. Spring cleaning. We're good influences.
Right. I'm not. When I have a project and I buy a boatload of yarn that I'm not going to be able to knit immediately because I've got too many projects. Imagine that. I bag them. You can get these 2-gallon huge Ziploc bags, and then it keeps all the nasties out, and it keeps projects together. And then I put the whole bag, the whole project into a big Rubbermaid tote. And I get the ones that have like a gasket in it, so it also keeps out moisture and air.
That's smart.
But when I do it this way, even if it's not a whole project yet, if it is a whole project, I can put the pattern in with it. If it's not, I can label on here like what the yarn is and how many yards I have. So then when I find a pattern and it's like, oh, I need, 1,500 yards of DK weight, then I can look right at the outside of the bag and it'll say, this one only has 1,000. Oh, crap.
Well, and then you can also go in and say, okay, I have 1,000 yards of DK weight, and then go and search in Ravelry and say, hey, what can I make from this with this amount of yardage?
Exactly.
Like, that's the great thing is, you can do it both ways, where it's like, how much do I have, how much do I need, or how much do I need, or how much do I need and how much do I have? So you can do it either way.
So, and this one I've got my receipt in there too, so that tells me how many I have without me having to open it up and count. And so that's just how I do it, so that I can easily find what I'm looking for and not just add to it and then be like, oh, I don't know, did I buy stuff in that color?
I'm a Hot Mess Express and just organize by weight and throw it all into a cube.
Okay, yeah. And that's the other way.
It's Hot Mess Express over here.
Well, and in my big Rubbermaid things, that's kind of my goal this week. That's why I was thinking about it, is I kind of cleaned up my mess this winter and just shoved them in the totes and stacked the totes.
Right.
And now I would like to go through the totes and sort them again by weight.
Yes. Well, yeah, and I don't know, mine is all sorted by weight, which is fantastic. I love it. Like, I eventually need to sort my DK versus sport weight, because right now it's hanging out together. But I do like that I have it sorted by weight, so I can be like, okay, how much of this DK do I have? Can I make like a stripey thing out of it?
Yeah, for sure.
Actually, pretty much all of my DK is going toward my sea glass sweater. So that's kind of what I'm doing with all of my, although I will not need all of my DK, so what the hell am I going to do with,
Are you going to,
extras?
speaking of your sea glass sweater, since I made one and gave up at the yoke and didn't go past there and made it solid colored, how are you going to do your ends?
I think I might try braiding my ends.
Okay, so you're gonna let them hang and then
braid them together. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm unsure, or I could just send them to Kirsten and have her weave them all in for me.
Because the pattern tells you to do the knotted.
Oh, it actually recommends, because I saw they have like several recommendations for
it. They decided that their favorite way was the magic knot.
Okay.
And I did that and I hated it. And I glued them all and haven't washed it because of that. I haven't worn it that many times. I've worn it a couple of times, but I haven't washed it or even blocked it, which is why when I used the same base yarn for my campsite cardigan, when I blocked it and it grew, I was awfully surprised. Cry. It'll be okay. I just need a belt.
Yes. Which, to be fair, the pattern actually called for a belt. The pattern
called for a belt. I was hoping that I could do just buttons, and anyway. That was my magic moment of like, oh, this one grows a lot. Yeah. And I would have known because I'd used it on a previous sweater.
Yes. But yeah, I don't organize my yarn very well, and I eventually need to do better about it. I have a couple that are like set aside in bags for like, this is this shawl because it came as a kit, and so I know it's for this shawl.
You, on the other hand, knit a lot faster, and I don't think you have as many spare projects.
That is fair. I have significantly less yarn than you have too.
I kind of went crazy last year because I knit out of my stash all through COVID, and then last year when I could travel again, I went a little crazy. Did I mention that I bought 30 skeins of yarn to start off last year?
Yeah, I mean, I have yarn. I have too much yarn. More yarn than I need, and I probably should destash some of it because there's some that I know I'm never gonna get to. Like some just like they come in gift bags or like I bought it 6 years ago and was like, I'm gonna make this out of it, and then never did because I lost motivation, or I was like, oh, what was I thinking? But it hasn't been. I mean, it's only been like I collect yarn fast. It's only been over like the
Yeah.
last 3 years that I started getting
Well, and all
like
those
nicer yarn too.
gorgeous
So-
one-off hand painted where it's
Yes.
like, someday I'm going to add these all together and make a thing.
Yes. And I do that a lot with like when I travel
Right.
because I like to get a skein of yarn that's like dyed direct and only for that shop when I
Right.
go. And so I
And-
have a lot of like one-off fingering weight yarns.
Right. And like me, you don't knit socks.
Yeah, I knit socks occasionally. I'm actually wearing a pair of knitted
Oh,
socks
those are really
today.
cute.
This is from Songbird Fibers, I think. That's
Yeah, those are super cute.
so. Yes, she's awesome. She's a Canadian hand dyer, and she bases everything off of bird coloring.
Oh,
So
yeah, that's awesome.
She loves birds, and yeah, so Songbird Fibers, fantastic.
So, speaking of destashing, my friend,
Mm-hmm.
where should we destash our yarn to?
Oh, so many places to destash. So one of our favorite places that people destash with is our guild meetings.
So,
local guild.
your local guild, you can I don't know about most, I know ours does. We have a destash table, and then you can bring anything you don't want to knit with, and you put it on the table and other people can just take it. Some people do that and designate them to be done for charity knitting, which is great. We'll talk about that next.
Yes. Other options for destashing, Facebook groups are fantastic, like your knitting Facebook groups. And that's a great way to not only destash, but also possibly like you're destashing with other knitters. So they'll be like, hey, I can pay you for that
Right.
that skein of yarn that you spent $30 on and now don't want anymore.
Right. Ravelry has destash,
Yep.
and that's also a great place if you're looking for a one-off skein to match something you
Mhm.
have. Sometimes someone else has it.
And that's another one that you can actually get paid for your product,
Mhm.
which is nice. It is nice to not just have to give away
Right.
your
Also, there's a
hard-earned
lot
yarn.
of yarn on Mercari.
Yes, Mercari, eBay, and like Poshmark, those reselling
Yeah, so
places.
you can do those.
Etsy is another place that I see a lot of people like
Oh, yeah.
reselling yarn.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not sure it's technically allowed, but I see it.
Yeah. And if you want to just straight donate, like if it's stuff that, wasn't super expensive or whatever, I know you work in public schools.
Yes,
Art teachers love to get extra yarn.
yes.
Camp, I take yarn up to camp every summer and donate it for the kids to use for crafts. I think there's
The women's prison as
Yeah,
well, don't they?
yeah,
take?
someone from the guild takes yarn up to the women's prison, so then
They can use it in crafting projects.
so yeah, there's places like that, nursing homes,
Mm-hmm.
churches, any of those kind of organizations
Yes.
often will happily accept donations of any kind of craft supplies.
Yeah. So call around.
Yeah, so then along with that, if we're talking just straight charity, you can knit things or crochet things and then donate them. I know the guild supports right now 3 different organizations, and Piper at Knitting Nook said that she works also with a charity that helps homeless veterans.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, so it's like whatever group you want to support,
Mhm.
be it LGBTQ youth, homeless youth,
Who are often the same.
right? Often, but there's different groups that do it. So I know we work with Pathfinders at the Knitting Guild.
We work with MPS as well, so
Mhm.
they clothe the winter wear for our students at MPS who are largely impoverished.
Yep.
So.
And that, you can often reach out to your local guild and just ask them, like, if you can drop off knitted goods and who they support.
Yes.
Pretty sure
And
our
you can
website
designate-
tells us. Do we have that listed on our website?
Our website. Do we have a website?
We
yet?
don't have a website yet,
We
but
don't
on
have a website
Facebook.
yet. Our Facebook group does not have that information easily accessible, and it really should.
Right. So this is some of the things that Lauren and I do.
Yes.
Is we just have conversations about things, and it's like, oh wait, maybe we
Why
should
don't
get
we
that
do that?
information out there.
Yeah, but if you talk to your local guild and chat with like their charity folks or anyone who's like any semblance of in charge, they'll probably know.
Yeah.
You can designate your donation to go to what group you would like it to go to.
Yeah.
Which
Probably
is nice.
you could check in at your local libraries.
Yep.
I think they are very involved in the community, so they would have ideas about where things could be donated.
And local schools in general, like we do
Yes.
NPS, but any of the surrounding schools have kids who can't afford winter wear. You know,
Right.
there's statistically there's going to be some kid
Right.
who doesn't have mittens for recess,
Or
you
even
know?
just forget theirs because,
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's always a great idea. I would be willing to bet possibly also like nursing homes and stuff.
Mhm.
You know, if they take their clients out, they could always use
Yep.
extra warm clothing.
Hats and scarves and
So lots of options that way.
yeah. So that's if you want to actually make a knitted garment, which is not the only way to do charity in the knitting world.
Why don't you tell us about it, Lauren? Because Lauren's the queen.
I am not the queen of
You
charity, but
You're
I
doing
do
way more than I ever have.
Well, I love to use my skill and talent for something that's not just, making shit. So, I recently did a social media fundraiser for St. Jude's Children's Hospital, which is a wonderful organization. Like, I don't usually do Saint anything because not Jesus-y. But this is a hospital that doesn't charge any of their families a bill for medical care, which is
That's awesome.
amazing. They provide housing for the parents who have to be there for their kid who may be, staying there for years. And they do that all through donation. And so they were hosting a craft along event in March where you participate just by doing a craft, and the goal is to cast on and cast off an object within the month of March. And so I took on the challenge to make a brioche cardigan, and I cast it on March 1st, and I think I cast it off on like March 14th, and finished it. I did make it a short sleeve cardigan instead of a long sleeve cardigan because it's getting to be springtime and I want to actually wear it. So, but yeah, and I posted about it on my Facebook page and transferred it over to Instagram.
You didn't put a photo on your Facebook page, though.
I did though.
I didn't
It's in
just
the
see it.
updates. It's in the updates.
Well,
But
let me look for the updates.
I updated from my first few rows to the finished project when I finished it.
Is it in the notes there?
It's in like the actual fundraiser.
There you go. I'm just going to show you her sweater because it's super cute.
So that's something
So
that I
here's
did.
her starting, her little brioche top.
Yeah.
And then here's
And
her
then
wearing it. It's
all
so
finished.
cute.
So I was really excited about that, and I raised $356 I think for their charity. $326.
Nice.
And the goal was $250, so I went over my goal. And I'm not the only person doing this. There were hundreds of people raising money, and if they all met their $250 goal, then we raised some money for St. Jude, which is fantastic. And then Jenna and I are both participating in Laura Nelkin's Knit for Food campaign to end food insecurity. She works with organizations like Meals on Wheels and Feeding America. And so we get to hear from all of them on next Sunday.
Yep.
Actually, or this coming Sunday, I guess.
So we'll be knitting 12 hours straight?
Yes. And so we asked for donations from people and made donations ourselves because it's important.
Yeah, for sure.
And the minimum that she is looking for is $100. Every dollar counts. So even if you only, raise $5, that's fantastic. But we hit our $100 goal. So we get to participate in the Zoom event. That is the 12-hour knit-a-thon. So there's these little breakout sessions and things as kind of an incentive to earn more than that $100.
Yeah.
But she's, I think it's a really great charitable organization, especially as a teacher who sees kids coming from food insecure homes, like it's a really important cause for me. And anything that I can do to help in that is something that I want to do. So yeah, that's.
So we're doing that, and I think, you know, anybody who's looking at any knitting information, Instagram or anything, a lot of people, I don't know why this keeps turning off, a lot of people are doing the knit-a-thon, so you know, you can donate through us, you can donate through
We can drop
pretty much
our
anybody.
donation link in our video description too if you're interested in donating to the cause. That would be wonderful, and we'd appreciate it, and all the food insecurity programs would appreciate it.
Yeah. So I think that's all I had to cover today.
Yeah, I think that's about.
Donate all the
for me
things.
too.
Clean up your yarn. Get organized.
Yes, do better than I do.
Send your families on spring break and stay home and just knit and
organize.
Then you can get rid of all the sweaters you're tired of and donate them.
Yeah, I need to get rid of some sweaters.
Right?
I have too many sweaters now.
Right, like now that I'm
And I
like,
hardly
I
ever
have to
wear
finish
anything.
this cardigan and that cardigan. Maybe I don't need that cardigan that I bought at Walmart.
Yeah, I have even my own like handmade stuff. I'm considering like auctioning off and and donating because I have too many sweaters now. Especially like my colorwork sweaters. I have 3 colorwork sweaters that are like my steeked cardigans.
Yeah.
Which are beautiful, but I hardly ever wear them. So I'm like, maybe they can go to a loving home that will give them the attention they need.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking I've got some that I might donate through Knit the Rainbow.
Yeah, that would be a good idea too. Yeah, I could actually just donate the knitted garment instead of auctioning it. That would be a good idea too.
Either way.
Yes, Knit the Rainbow is another charity that we love. Supports homeless LGBTQ youth, and there are several drop-off points around the United States.
Yeah,
In
so they're
cold states,
nationwide.
We would like to eventually become a drop-off point here in Milwaukee.
I think Lisa might take that upon herself at Cream City.
Oh, yay!
Yeah, so our local yarn shop, one of the many that we support, is Cream City Yarn, and our friend Lisa works there. And I was talking to her about Knit the Rainbow, and so she's really excited about it. I think she might take it upon herself to contact them.
I would love that.
Yeah,
I
that'd
would
be great.
happily work with her.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then
so,
we can add an extra charity to our local guild.
Yeah. Or not even to the guild, and we'll just let Lisa take that one.
Yeah, I'm
And
fine with that
we
too.
will donate there. So
Yes.
because things. This is where we make our snarky alpaca face because
Yeah.
oh, the love of just donating locally.
Yeah, I think local donation absolutely has its place, but the world is bigger. You know, donate locally if that is where your heart is, but if it's not, don't limit people from donating elsewhere.
Right. So that's our spiel.
Do good. That's
Right. Like
don't be a shitty human. This is my
wherever you
soapbox.
want to donate, whatever you want to knit, whatever you want to contribute.
Yes. Be a good human. Be kind to others. Do what you can to help.
Oh,
Build a
sounds like
longer
so
table.
much work.
It is a lot of work. Yes. It's worth it though.
I guess.
It is.
Anyway. And vote, please.
Yes, please go vote. If you're in Wisconsin, April 4th.
I want to make my dog come say hi, but she's asleep.
Oh, she's snoozling.
Yeah. Okay, guys, before we go. Hey, honey, come. You want to come say hi to everybody? No.
She's like, I'm taking a nap, Mom.
Okay, don't throw up. I'm going to bring it over. Look at this. Oh, the baby.
So if you've been hearing snoring.
That's my little baby. She's asleep.
Yes.
Anyway.
She has
Okay.
that little calves nowhere.
Yeah, so we're going to go and do our best to edit this.
Yes.
And we're going to add our little theme song at the beginning because Lauren made a recording of it for us.
And we are going to film Jenna showing us how to cable without a cable needle.
Yeah, we'll figure out how to do that because I'm
Tack
knitting on
that
black.
on at some point.
So maybe we'll film that one outside
Yes, or
Where
on
there's
somewhere
lighting.
with a light surface.
or something. Or set up our ring light or whatever. We'll figure it out.
We'll find a way.
We'll figure it out, guys.
Yes.
We're a mess.
Yes.
So
Never not a
Anyway.
mess. All right.
yeah,
Well,
happy
thanks for-
knitting, and we'll see you again in a couple weeks.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so we're gonna do cabling without a cable needle, and this one I'm gonna hold 3 behind and then cable the next 3. So I just bring my yarn forward, I slide the 3, 2, 3 onto the next needle, put my yarn back where I'm going to use it, and then I'm going to knit those 3, 2, 3. Then you have to go back and separate them, put your needle into the 3 you held. It helps that my stitch marker is there because then I can see where it is. Then I hold these with my thumb, push my needle out, bring it around front, and hold those 3. And then I move my yarn back behind, and then I knit the 3 that I originally held. 1, 2, 3. And if you are knitting not with black yarn, you'll be able to see a little better, but it's not actually difficult. It's pretty easy. So the next 2 I'm going to do, I'm only holding 1. So you can't actually see the cables as well, but it's actually really easy to do. So this one I'm going to hold forward with the yarn and back. I'm going to knit the next one. I'm going to grab that one with the working needle and then knit it. This one is the opposite. I hold this one forward. Nope. This one goes back. And then I move the yarn, knit it, and then go in behind, move the yarn onto this one again, and move the yarn behind, and then knit it. So that was a 3 stitch, well 6, and then 2 2-stitch cables.